guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Leigh. This is our backyard garden, and I just received my very first Bootstrap Farmer haul. I thought I would do an unboxing with you. I have not opened this box yet. I ordered it last week, actually. I ordered it on a Friday. It was processed by Saturday morning. It was in the mail Monday morning, and I got it this past Friday. So it's been sitting on the floor waiting for me to open it, and I wanted to do that live. So let's go ahead and do this unboxing and see what's inside. All right, so let's go ahead and get this open. And we'll see how they actually packed it up. I can say that it was easy to order on their site. And I've been holding off because I forever have been, using, this is the Kirkland equivalent to the Solo Cup. And so I have this out so I can show you in comparison what the size is as far as how I pot things up. And I have all sorts of the little 4-pack cells that I always use from other things that I bought in the past. And, that's how I've been gardening. I like to use recycled things. I have pots from the dollar store, but quite frankly, my little recycled 4-cell packs from the farmer's market are totally getting like ruined at this point. So, all right, let's see what we have. All right, always struggling to find good light here. All right, you guys. So the first thing that I'm opening up here that they've packaged nicely on the top are the separator grids. And I'll show you if you're not familiar with Bootstrap Farmer, because this is my first time as well. I'm not familiar with everything as well. I had to orient myself as to what these things were for, but keep in mind there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Now as I unpack it, I'm going to tell you exactly how many items I got and what the total price was, and we're going to break it down to the ridiculous in price. So on top, all right, let's see. Here are the starter trays. Now I use these from Lowe's all the time, and I can tell you right now that this is a completely different quality of plastic. It seems much more comparable to maybe what the green stalk is made out of. I have tons of these from Lowe's, and these feel pretty heavy duty, and they're more rubbery. They have a rubbery texture to them, whereas the ones from Lowe's and Home Depot have more of a different kind of plastic, like the ones from Lowe's feel like they could shatter if they were left out in the cold or if you drop them or drop something on them. So this feels like you could drop it or drop something on it and it wouldn't break. So I got lavender, pink, orange, green, and blue. And this is all part of a kit that comes as one price, and I will go over that with you as well. So that was on top. And then we get a bunch of these guys. Oh my goodness. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of each color here. So again, blue, green, orange, pink, and lavender. And we get several of these. All right, so I haven't looked at this or familiarize myself with the order since I placed it. I saw the kit, I went ahead and ordered it, and I forget. So I will be giving you totals up on the screen here of how many of these pieces there are. So this is what will be equivalent to the Solo Cup. So let's look at the one on the bottom, for example, and when you compare. Now, these are great because the thing I like about the Solo Cups, and again, this is the Kirkland equivalent, sometimes things get a little root bound in these cups and it can be difficult to get them out. So I don't mind if I have to squeeze them. Now granted, we always go ahead and we'll drill through 3 holes on the bottom of each cups, and we do that in stacks. We just drive the drill bit through the bottom and make sure that we have drainage on these. But if I crack it or break it, it doesn't matter. It's just that as a starter cup, these take a lot of soil and it dampens off. And then when you actually get them inside of the trays, which I'll do a demonstration of, they're very flimsy and they fall down. So I thought, this year I've just had enough of that. So I thought I'm going to get myself a real professional pack of starting trays and cells to, see if it works out better for me. All right, so just getting myself oriented with the box now. There are 90 of these cups. 90, that's a lot. So I'm assuming that they will all fit nicely into the 5 trays. Okay, so now the next thing is your starter cells. Wow, look at all the beautiful colors. You know, it doesn't really matter. Having the colors, it's not going to make anything grow better. But, you know, it's just kind of fun. And I think whatever you have to do to make it fun is very, very important. So now the difference here, I will say, I don't know if this feels like anything great. A lot of people online are saying that it's just a much better plastic. It's definitely a better plastic than the cheap starter cells you get and keep and recycle from the farmers markets. What I like about it is there's a nice size hole in the bottom, and you really can, you know, get your finger in there or a Sharpie or something blunt to encourage the starter to come out. Sometimes you have to squeeze them and you're trying to get them out, and they're very, very difficult. It does have more aeration on the side for, you know, roots to take up their water, so I really like that. And these are all designed to fit inside of the trays. Now, the one last thing that's in the box here, let's get everything out. This is my very first unboxing, and I don't think I'm doing a very good job, but you know, I wanted to see it live with you. So these are the humidity domes. Now this is equivalent to the Jiffy that I'll show you. So this is the tray that usually comes with the Jiffy container. Now, if you guys use these, you all know these are flimsy piece of crap. You have, sorry, you have to tape these down to get a good seal. Things don't really germinate great in those cheap Jiffy trays. I think they have 72 cells in them. They really don't work well at all. And then, you know, you do it because if you have a good place where you can tape it down and, you know, get a good seal and the perfect humidity and light, then, you know, it's okay. They can work okay, but they're a real pain in the butt. Now these humidity domes are nice and deep, so your name tags won't get in the way, because that's something I've noticed when you put the lid over those starter cells. If you have a big you know, plastic label that you stuck in there, the lid won't go down all the way. This is nice and high. It will allow it to have any humidity collecting up in the top, and it won't necessarily touch your little starters. So, and if you look here, it has a seal that you can put on to adjust how much air you want to add in. So you can see how that opens and closes. And there is one on each side. So this is definitely a bonus. Now for a quick comparison, I wanted to show you, I've already started brassicas in my back window, and yes, they are a little leggy, I am aware, but there's not much I can do when you're growing from the kitchen. They're, you know, they're standing up pretty nice, so I'm actually pleased. Now in comparison, these are 4 cells that came from the farm stand, and this is a 6 cell. But when you compare these little size of these squares to these cells that come in the actual Jiffy container for the starters, these squares are much, much bigger, and they will hold just enough dirt, I think, to get your seeds started without having, you know, too small of a cell, which I think the Jiffy tray is guilty of being too small. Now here's an example of what your small 6 cell trays look like set up inside of the 1020. There's plenty of room in here to get a spout for water if you're going to bottom water like you really should when you have seedlings that have sprouted. And there's plenty of room in these trays, like I said, for aeration and water uptake, and you'll be able to get a nice amount of access to these cells the way they have them set up. Yet it's interesting because even though there's 72 cells in here, just like there would be in the Jiffy, the actual cell itself is bigger and it's deeper, where the Jiffy cells seem to really, really narrow at the bottom, and they just cave in and break, where these guys have flexibility. I don't know if you can see how that's moving. The flexibility allows you the opportunity to manipulate your seedling out of here so you can up-pot it. Or you can go up from the bottom and give it a little bit of encouragement from there. The Jiffy cells tend to crumble and crack and they just crease in place. And if you go to reuse them the season after, you may have not realized that you collapsed the bottom of your little cell pack and you're actually not able to fill it completely with dirt. So the seedling gets compromised right off of the bat, where this will stay nice and rigid and allow your soil to pack down nice and deep and allow that root to really take hold, get nice and surrounded. It will reach through the sides for water. So you have a better chance of your germinated seed actually, becoming a seedling in a packet like this because of all of these features. So when you're looking at features like places for the roots to take up water, places for them to aerate, the ability for you to squeeze them out and pop them out of these things, the benefit of all of these features is that you're going to get a healthier plant overall. It will be easier to manipulate it out of the little cell, and it will have the opportunity to just grow a bigger root base, which is always the best thing, because when you start off a seedling in the wrong pot and you're trying, it may look like you have a seedling at the top, but when you go to pull it out of a collapsed cell, you may realize all of the dirt falls off of a few tiny little roots. Well, it never really had the opportunity to take off. Whereas I do really firmly believe that something like this is going to give you a better opportunity to have a healthier seedling. Now let's take a look at how the cup holder fits on top of the 1020 tray. It's designed to fit right on top and not slip. It doesn't lock in place. That would be nice if it did actually lock down on there to ensure that you had a firm grip. It will still keep everything nice and sturdy. And the last thing that you want to do is have to struggle with trying to remove something in case you have any cups in there that are loose. So I've placed a few of the 3-inch starter pots inside of this holder for you, and you can see it really does hold it in place nicely. And the benefit of a feature like this is that when your cup is nice and sturdy down to the bottom, and you can see it has really, trying to find an opportunity for the light to go in, you can see that it has really good contact to the bottom and the ridges that are below. So you really want your cups to sit nice and flush on the bottom so you can have proper water uptake. When you use a Solo cup or a Costco Kirkland brand type of cup, they don't really sit in there side by side. They tend to wobble around, and when you try to put too many in, they tend to tilt. And before you know it, the little holes that you may have created on the bottom are lifted up, and your cup doesn't have the opportunity to take up any water. I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you where you've started, maybe you up-potted from a small starter cup and you put it inside of a bigger Jiffy cup and you have them all lined up in your 10-20 trays, and one plant somewhere in the middle got all dried out on you. It's because it was probably sitting at an angle, fell into a ridge, and it was unable to take up the water. So when you have this kind of opportunity where your plant is being kept in place, stacked side by side as it should, they all make perfect contact. Your plant is going to have a better opportunity for an even uptake of water, giving you a healthier starter plant. So by the time, these are the perfect size where these would go right into the ground for, say, a tomato plant or a pepper plant. This would have a nice stalk on it and it would be a good size plant if you're going to go right into the ground from here. So this will give it the opportunity to have nice access to water for its root system, good opportunity to wrap around and be nice and big. And when you pull the plant out of this cup, finally, you'll see that your roots are nice and circular, and they're still going to be able to get plenty of air and uptake because of all of these slots that they've put in these cups. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you where you've stacked up all your cups and you've gone to pick them up and maybe you only have one hand free and you start to carry them and all of your Solo cups tip over. Look, even though this isn't full of soil or water, I'm still holding it with one hand and everything is staying in place. So I really like this feature. It really is a great benefit to know that all of your started plants are going to stand sturdy while you're moving them around, and they're going to have good contact with the bottom for proper water uptake. Now we'll get the Humidity Dome on there, and that fits really good. So you can see it goes all the way down around the bottom, and this definitely has a much nicer fit. Now this again is labeled that it is Made in the USA. Hopefully you can see that. Now it's not a tight fit, so it doesn't go on and like vacuum seal, but you can adjust your humidity levels and how much air you want your plants to have. You know, if it's cold and you want them to stay, you know, get nice and warmed up inside here, you can put this in a nice warm spot, and I bet you all of these plants will be you know, getting nice and warm very, very quickly. And you can see how much space there is from the top of the dome. So you see my finger up on the top here. So you have several inches for your plants to, you know, put on some size if you need to keep the dome on. But usually at that point, you guys, you're going to want to take your dome off. So these are all things that I'm saying just because I want you to, you know, have everything to think about as you look at it, and you can try to understand just how much space you're working with. But you never really want to keep a dome on something, you know, that is already that well established. This dome is really going to come into play when you use your small 6-cell packs for starting. So again, showing you the tray, the 10-20 tray with the lid on, with the 3.5-inch cups was just for reference. You can see here's the little 6-cell starters. You'll have plenty of room if anything shoots up and gets leggy. It won't be touching the top, and you won't have water dripping down on your little seedlings if you don't get the lid off in time. Okay, so quick recap. You get 5 10-20 trays, 5 matching domes, and you get 5 of the grids that hold the 3.5-inch cups. You get 90 of your seedlings cups, which hold 6 seedlings in each cell, and you get total of 90, so you would be able to start 72 seedlings in one tray, just like you would with the Jiffy. And you get 90 of these 3.5-inch cups, and if you sit them inside of the black insert, you would have 18 cups inside of a 10-20 tray. Now, I know I can't fit 18 solo cups in one of these trays, and if I tried to, they would probably fall over. So your dome will go over top of your seed starters, and if for some reason you had to cover one of these big pots, you really could, but that's not really what it's intended for. So let's do a total. So we have 15 pieces here between the dividers, the domes, and the trays. 90 of these and 90 of these guys here. That comes to 195 pieces that you get with the kit. So here is the order summary that I got. This is considered the ultimate backyard gardener bundle, and it comes to $167.99. Now we're in New Jersey, so we paid $11.13 of wonderful sales tax. So my order came to $179.12. for 195 pieces. So let's break that down to the ridiculous. It's less than $1 a piece. So this unboxing was just an opportunity for you to see what supplies are available out there if you're getting ready and you're really excited like I am, even though it's only January. I couldn't wait to finally invest in something that I thought would be a good benefit for me to start healthier seedlings every year, and not, you know, run into any snags like, oh, I wasn't prepared, my Jiffy containers are all collapsed, or all of my solo cups are cracked and I have to run out and buy more. We figured we would go ahead and make an investment in something like this. And because it is a bundle, it did cost a little bit more. But when you break it down to the ridiculous and realize that you're only paying $1 per piece approximately, it really is a good investment if it's in your budget and you can afford it. If you're a brand new gardener, you may not be ready for something like this because it's so many pieces, and you may not be ready yet to grow this many items and put it to use at its full capacity. So I will be starting at least this many seedlings this year, so I know I'm going to use all of it. Now, this was not a promo or a paid sponsorship in any means. We bought this bundle with our own money, and we are just looking out for everyone who's in the gardening community, and perhaps you're ready to take the plunge as well and invest in something like this. So we wanted you to have a chance to see what it looked like. So if any of you out there actually own this bundle or any of the Bootstrap Farmer kits or pieces, if you would comment below and let us all know what you think of it and how well it's holding up, we would greatly appreciate it. So if this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And we really appreciate your time. So thanks for stopping in to see us again, you guys, and we hope to see you in the next video.